Listen, ladies and gentlemen, today we have a group of powerful and inspiring women joining us for Girls Chat. We'll be diving deep into some thought-provoking topics such as the importance of empathy, finding your voice, self-worth, and mentorship. But of course, we can't forget the fun stuff. We'll also be sharing some of our worst first date experiences and the craziest travel adventures we've had. So y'all grab your popcorn and get ready for an exciting, enlightening conversation. Y'all welcome out Tisha, Adrian, and Joanne! Hey! Seat. How are y'all doing?
Amazing.
Well, y'all look amazing.
Thank you.
Everybody got the memo, don't y'all? My goodness. So Michelle Obama, we're going to just dive in.
Ooh, let's do it.
Michelle Obama released her Netflix special with Oprah Winfrey, and she spoke on some amazing topics. The first I want to discuss is the need for empathy and understanding towards others, particularly those with different perspectives and experiences. So let's talk about empathy. And Michelle Obama coming out and saying that we need to exercise more of that. Would you please start with me?
Absolutely. Empathy is such an important skill. We have no idea what's happening in their life.
True.
And, you know, I think this era of social media has really played into that, and people feel comfortable to say things that they normally wouldn't say, you know, 10, 20 years ago.
True.
And so it just has really promoted this lack of empathy. But being nice and being kind to people, it changes people on another level. And you just smiling, saying good morning, something as simple as that can really change the trajectory of someone's day.
I agree with that. Kindness goes so far.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I really love, you know, this concept of empathy because me personally, I was diagnosed with a neurodisability a couple of years ago. And so many people misunderstood my interactions with them, my tone of voice, my, you know, just everything. And what that really showed me, it really created a space for me to advocate for others who may not show up exactly the way you think is normal or typical, but they still have value, they still deserve respect.
Yes.
And they also can be a blessing to your life if given a chance.
It's so true. I love that.
So, you know, as I was sharing with you, I adopted 3 out of my 4 children.
Yes.
And I've always taught my kids to have empathy because, like she shared, you never know what somebody's going through. Right now in the world, we see so many crazy things.
True.
And it's because of the lack of empathy. You think the way that God has created us, He created us all to be different.
Yes.
You know, and imagine if we all were the same.
Right life would be just so
wouldn't be looking so good.
Exactly. I agree with you. I agree with you. So empathy is so important. Y'all know this saying, it says, I don't look like what I've been through.
Come on now. Come on.
When I tell you, that says it all right there.
Yes, it does.
You can see someone and they can just be looking fabulous. And then on the inside, they're falling apart.
Yes.
And they need someone to just say, hey, are you okay? Hey, I'm here for you. So don't see people and walk past them. See people and see them. We need to see people. Yes, thank you. So let's talk about this next topic. That was some good stuff. The importance of finding your voice and speaking up for what you believe in, even in the face of adversity. So how do you do that and bring your real authentic self into this space and empower people through what you believe in through spirituality? That's deep.
Yeah.
That's a good space.
And you don't even have to tell people. If you do it the right way, they will know you by your fruit.
Come on.
They will know who you are. You don't got to preach in the break room.
No,
They'll
you don't. Come on,
when you interact with them and when you close those deals. So
come on, I love it. All right, so this is Jalen.
Yeah,
right?
Jalen, sorry.
Jalen, that's okay.
Adrian. Yes, I just feel like God is leading me to speak to your audience.
Come on.
I know with, you know, my kids, they have went through a ton of bullying. And sometimes you have to use your voice. You have to stand up for what you think is not right. you got to speak out. You know, my son lost a friend who killed himself due to it. So I just think that it's so important for our youth to be okay with standing up.
Yes.
And it goes back to your first conversation. It's okay to be different.
Yes, it is. It's perfectly fine. Yes. You know, and just to say a little bit about what you're talking about, a lot of children do go through that. And we want you to know, if you are having any kind of thoughts or ideas that you are not valued, that you are not worthy, that you do not want to be on this planet, there is a number on this screen we want you to call. And just know that your mother, your father, somebody, go and talk to somebody, because you are loved and you are valued, right?
That's right.
Woo! So the importance of having a strong sense of identity and self-worth, particularly for young people, it's so important that you have a strong sense of identity and self-worth. How do we make sure we're instilling this in our children?
Well, this is one of those things that, you know, I really feel like it starts at home.
Yes.
And I was very, very fortunate. I had an amazing mom and grandma and a whole community of people who really reminded me that I could do whatever I wanted, that all I had to do was keep God first and believe in myself. And I was absolutely so blessed to have that message at a very, very early age. And so, you know, I really feel like being able to have that open communication with your kids and reminding them of that same message, because, you know, I spent the last 15 years of my life being a social worker.
Wow.
Yeah. And within the last year or two, I started my company, the Contractor, and I'm a female contractor now.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to say, just being that alone puts you in a space where you're really just almost the only woman in the room, right?
Usually
she's the only woman in the room. In contracting, it's not, you don't see a lot of women in that field, but it is a powerful field to be in. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes. So, as a social worker, I'm always coming from like this very holistic perspective. And so I wanted to come into contracting because I love to build things. I want to build everything.
We can't tell.
I know.
Silky. She looks so silky today.
But that's exactly it. You know, I felt like I lived my entire life and people looked at me and put me in this box based on how I looked, and they thought that this is the type of job I did, or, you know, I wasn't going to be capable of these things. And so when I got into contracting, I went full force and I built everything, literally. And then I figured, how do you put these two things together? Because at the core of myself, I'm a social worker and I want to be able to help other people.
Yes.
And so what I did was I created the Contractors Academy, where I teach women, and soon I'll be teaching young ladies as well, the fundamentals of trade, because I think that it's such an amazing skill to have. I have felt personally so empowered by having this level of skill, and I wanted to be able to share that. I want other people to know it's not as complicated as you think, and it is so amazing to be able to build something with your own two hands.
You make us want to build, right? Hopefully you can come and talk to us at Find Your Voice one day. And,
I would love that.
That would be amazing, right?
I would absolutely love that.
Listen, so we're gonna... Oh, that was like sitting a choir. You can sit choir. Y'all, hello and welcome back to the Sisaundra Show. We are so excited and having such a great time on set with Find Your Voice. And we have the ladies here for Girls Chat and getting a lot of insight. And we're going to continue to share with you right now, talking about the value of mentorship and finding role models who can provide guidance and support. I think it's everything to find someone that can mentor you, to have someone that is that role model and someone who supports you when you're going through the good and the bad. Thus, the reason why I created the Find Your Voice program, because I am a Find Your Voice girl. Everything that this group stands for is what I had to go through to get to where I am. I was someone who was a migrant worker. Life was not easy for me. We grew up very, very humble. When I say humble, I mean, you know, like sandwiches and like simplicity. I was a migrant worker working in the fruit groves and then traveling to New York to pick apples. And God gave me beauty for ashes. If he had not given me the right people in my life to help guide me and show me different things. And then to say, oh, you're really good at that. Keep doing that. And then I kept moving forward. I would not be sitting here with any of you today. So finding the right mentors to tell you that you're doing the right thing is so important. So FYV is the reason for that. God bless you. What about you? Talk to me and talk to us about mentorship and the value of it.
It is so imperative to have someone that you look up to and that you feel can sow into you.
Yes.
And one of the things, we hope that it's a family member, your mother, your father, you know, an aunt, but not everybody has that opportunity. And so it's really important for a program like, you know, what you have going on here to offer that to people. So, you know, for those who are not getting it at home,
Correct.
still have that opportunity. I was fortunate with my grandma who led me on the right path. And like you said, you know, reminded me, you're good at that.
Yes.
Keep going, you're beautiful. Don't let anybody sidetrack you. Like I needed that reinforcement.
Yes.
And so it's really important that people have that type of opportunity.
It is so true. I agree with you. And what about you?
I think mentorship is everything, because when you think about it, how can you pour into a cup if you're empty?
So true.
And sis, I got to give you your flowers, because what you are doing with young women, you have me in here so emotional looking at you all. I just think it's amazing how you're mentoring each and every last one of these women in here. And it changes the future. And I think a lot of times we don't understand that mentorship comes in all different ages.
Yes.
We always think that it's from that older person, but it just may be from a great friend that's showing you great examples, you know, doing what you got to do in school.
It's so
you
true.
know, but yes, mentorship, finding the right mentor is key.
It is so true. And listen, I don't want to take all the credit because I can't be with the Find Your Voice young ladies every day, but they have amazing facilitators, and I cannot go forward one more second without mentioning Miss Selena Shazer. Thank you so much. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child. Look how many children we have in here. And if I didn't have all these amazing women, and then you all just walk right in here and be like, hey, I love FYV too. Yeah. That's what it takes. Y'all give it up for love. Yes. So, we're gonna have a little fun right now. And I want to know, ladies, what was your worst first date experience? Did anything unexpected happen that left you feeling embarrassed or uncomfortable?
Man, I'm really trying to rack my brain on this one. I will say that there was one first date that I went on. It was extremely cold. I was in upstate New York. It was freezing at the time. And he started to get a runny nose.
Oh, no.
And he was coming in trying to hug me and things like that. And I'm like, I'm just gonna need you to get some tissue. I need you to wipe it up before you come in for you to kind of hug.
Okay, so was there a second date after he wiped it up?
There was.
Okay, I love it. Oh my goodness, we love you. You have compassion. All right.
I would probably say mine was I had met this guy on MySpace.
Oh, Lord.
And
MySpace?
Right, MySpace.
Does anybody remember MySpace? The young people are like, no, what is
I'm
MySpace?
telling my age, right? But I met this guy on MySpace. He really fine looking. He shows up to the house. My cousins, my sisters are on the porch. As y'all could tell, I'm almost 6 feet.
Yes.
He
Beautifully.
stepped out that car. He was like 5 feet.
No.
I could not get into it. It was like...
Okay, so I have a question then. What do you do when the guy shows up and he's much shorter than you? Do you take your heels off?
No, I don't.
Yes! Somebody said yes! You do, you don't?
I don't.
You don't? I have been
don't.
taking my heels off.
No.
Really?
Yes, not that I'm dating right now, but I mean, you know.
Historically.
I just felt so bad. I was like, oh my God, I'm like looking down, and men don't have a problem with that? Okay, we need a man for that. Chris, do men have a problem with women being taller than them?
Men do not have a problem with women being taller than them.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you.
It ain't our fault. It ain't our
Thank you
fault.
very much.
I was about to say, married for 25 years.
Oh, no,
And my husband's a little shorter than me. And when I got heels on, he looked like, my son next to me.
Really?
Yeah.
But you know what that says about him? That's a confident man. You better come on. All right. So have you ever gotten lost or ended up in a dangerous situation while traveling? So let me start this off. What's the craziest or most memorable travel experience you've had? And have you ever gotten lost or ended up in a dangerous situation while traveling?
The best trip I ever had, I went for my 30th birthday with all my girlfriends, my cousins. We all went to Miami. We had an amazing, amazing time. I did not end up in any dangerous situation. However, this is the beginning of like Airbnb. So normally I would go to a hotel, and we went to this Airbnb, and as we're walking down the hallway, the door before ours, there was like cockroaches on the outside of the door. Girl. And I was like, we have to get out of here. It was disgusting.
Lord.
It was horrible. I was like, this cannot be my 30th birthday
No,
present.
where were you? Because we don't want to go.
It was somewhere on the strip. And we had to find accommodations very quickly.
Really? I hope you did.
We did. We did.
My goodness. All right. So what about you, Jalen?
One of the most memorable trips, I did a solo trip to Iceland.
Oh, how cool is that?
I did a solo trip to Iceland. It was absolutely beautiful. The springs, the northern lights. They had really great hot dogs too.
Hot dogs in Iceland? Come on. That's my place.
It was a good time.
So what made you choose Iceland?
So I had wanted to go to Iceland since I was about 20 years old. And as I grew older, I kept hearing more and more people go to Iceland. I'm like, wait, this is my dream. Like,
wow.
I'm not going to wait on anybody else to go with me.
I'm just going to
go. And
so was it like an Eat, Love, Pray kind of experience? Do y'all know about Eat, Love, Pray? Yes. Okay, I love it. Okay. So was it like Eat, Love, Pray? You're trying out great places. You're finding love. You're meditating.
Nope.
What did you go do?
I glammed it up. I stayed at the top luxury hotel. I got the most upgraded spa specials, everything. It was a glam up, a glow up. That's what it was for me.
I love that. So that's even better. Here we go. I love that. We are not camping, we are glamping.
Yes, we
Here
are.
we go. All right, talk to me. Let me tell you about my craziest trip. So I went to Japan with Celine, right? And we're having the best time of our lives. We get on the bullet train from Yokohama to Tokyo, and everybody's just like having a good time. And then it's time to go home. And everybody's getting their passports and doing everything. And I look for my passport, y'all. Oh, Lord. And I lost my passport. On the bullet train. So the only thing, you have two options. They were like, well, she can stay here in Japan for 3 more days, but the team was getting on the plane, so everybody was gonna go back to America and leave me in Japan. I was like, y'all are not leaving me here. I don't think so. So what happened was they said, well, if your team can vouch for you, then we can let you on the plane, and then customs, when you get to America, can decide whether or not they'll let you in the country. And I was like, are y'all gonna vouch for me? And they start playing jokes on me. They were like, we don't know you. We don't know you. So luckily I got on the plane, they vouched for me, and I got to America, and they said I was a citizen, and they let me in. That was nuts. That was nuts. Did everybody tell them? I know you would have. Listen, Adrian, did you tell us your story?
No.
Tell us your crazy story.
Actually, mine was coming out here.
Today?
Yes.
Please tell us.
Not only did I get here 4 o'clock this morning, but it was so much turbulence.
No.
I'm like, I prayed and called on Jesus the whole way. So when I got off, everybody else was thanking me for praying and calling on God. I'm like, because I thought it was going down. I'm like,
listen. Listen, we need at least one good prayer warrior on the airplane, right? Listen, it's been such a pleasure spending time with you ladies. Did y'all have a good time?
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah! Yes! Hello, everyone. If you are at work, at home, y'all drop everything and tune in because it's time for the Sisaundra Show!
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just kidding. Don't y'all get fired. Don't drop everything at work. Listen, speaking of fired, y'all